Afrishela is an impact investment fund. We are promoted by the Graça Machel Trust. We are a gender lens fund focusing both on the intersection of gender and climate. We're a $30 million fund. That's what we're raising right now, but we have the big vision is to be $200 million. We're essentially starting in East and Southern Africa, and our aim is to basically to deploy capital to impact businesses that are women-led and women-owned.
Gender lens investing is necessary in order to address a gender finance gap that is there in the market. IFC estimates that there's a 42 billion gender gap for SMEs and 8 billion for MSMEs. And there's need for deliberate targeting of women businesses with finance in order to address this gap and also take advantage of the impact potential that these women businesses can generate.
Well, Afrishela came about a combination of all the work that has been done at the Graça Machel Trust for a number of years and things that I have also witnessed being an investment professional. We noticed that as we went about and we engaged several of our women networks, they were always talking about access to capital as one of the areas that they couldn't grow their business. At the same time, when we also engaged the banking sector at that time, we recognized that there could be some structural barriers in terms of the financing that was available to a category that we call the missing middle.
Accessing capital is still such a challenge for businesses like mine, and it shocks me really that the impact we create, because what I didn't mention is that we started the business because we really wanted to see lives improving. So for us, that was a measure of success, and for as long as we could see that impact and then run into problems raising money, that has been a big challenge. Questions of accessing markets also come into play, because first you might not necessarily access the market, and then say that you access those markets, are you able to meet the demand? You still come back to a capital problem.
So we wanted to provide capital to these businesses that were underserved but were not necessarily able to access the traditional forms of capital that were already there. Our short-term goal is to engage the investment community. We have different layers of capital, so we have investors that are focused on impact, we have investors that are interested in concession, we have investors that are interested in commercial returns, we have investors that are interested in providing technical assistance support. All those categories are available within our vehicle.
So the type of technical assistance I look for is in different areas of the business, technical expertise. So it's very helpful to be able to talk to somebody who's done what you're doing, maybe at a larger scale, and they're able, because otherwise you're reinventing the wheel every time. And I like to, sometimes I say we're swimming in the dark. Like we're already in the water, but now we're swimming and we can't really see where we're going. So I really appreciate when a very strong technical person can come in and very quickly they can look at what we're doing.
Afrishela's long-term goals are to bring innovative and responsive financing to an underserved segment of the market. And we are looking at early stage growth businesses within the missing middle segment. And we are coming into the market with flexible structures. And these are structures we believe respond to women's particular needs, and also leveraging blended finance that can support the structures that we are offering to the women businesses, along with technical assistance to drive value creation so that they're able to scale and generate returns. So our aim is to support women businesses, grow their businesses, scale, return capital to investors, but also create impact.
I see the impact that our businesses are having on a daily basis and at so many different levels. So Vivo, as a business, we design and we manufacture and we sell clothing for women, which at the surface may look like it's just about the clothes and making women feel good and look good, which is amazing. But it's the people we employ. We now employ over 360 people, 70% of which are women, 70% are under the age of 30. And we try to grow our team and our people, not just what they do at work, but also what do they do with any extra money they can get? Are they able to invest it? So I get excited when my team now are able to suddenly purchase a piece of land that they were never able to do before.
In the last 5 years alone, we've impacted over 1,000 people because we employ them, giving them meaningful and decent work. We think we're also making an impact in terms of climate impact. So we do a lot of composting ourselves. The third way that we believe that we impact is also women and youth. So about 72% of our workforce are actually women.
That's our impact. Creating good jobs, good sustainable jobs is at the core of who we are. We want to see people's lives, want to end endemic poverty. Their lives are not only changed for today, but for generations. That is our impact, and we can take that to the bank.
Finally, we have the evidence that you can deploy your capital, generate return, and do good in the world. You need to do some good work, understand what your values are in this life and how you deploy your capital. Once those two things come together, then we will start to see real change in the world, because this world needs change and it needs hope. So whatever you do, wherever you go today, just go away with that question. How am I deploying my capital? What are my values, and are my values aligned?